Urgent Dallas Cowboys FANS. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. All right, folks, buckle up because today's news is a roller coaster, and it's got everyone talking. The Dallas Cowboys, a team that's always in the spotlight, especially during the preseason, had a pretty eventful game this past Saturday at Lumen Field, where they took on the Seattle Seahawks in their first preseason matchup. Now, I know what you're thinking. Preseason games can sometimes feel like just a warm-up, a way for coaches to see who's got the stuff to make the roster, but this one was anything but ordinary. With most of the projected starters sitting out, the spotlight shifted to the young guns, the guys fighting for those backup spots, and boy, did they show up. Or at least some of them did. One name that's been gaining attention, especially among Cowboys fans, is Phil Mafa, a second-year running back out of Clemson, drafted last year, and already making waves in training camp. Now, Mafa entered the game with a lot to prove. With Javonte Williams firmly established as the starter, the backup running back role is wide open, and Mafa was looking to make a statement. He got some early carries, and let's just say he looked pretty promising at first. 4 carries for 9 yards, which might not blow your mind, but for a guy trying to carve out a role, it's a solid start. Plus, he caught a pass for 6 yards, showing he's versatile out of the backfield. But as fans, we all know how quickly things can change, especially in preseason. Unfortunately, Mafa's night took a turn for the worse when he suffered a chest injury. It looked minor at first, questionable to return, as the reports from Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram indicated. But then, not long after, he was ruled out for the rest of the game. That's a tough break, literally and figuratively, for Mafa. And here's the thing. Injuries in the preseason can be a real threat to a player's chances. Mafa's had a pretty good offseason, and many believed he was gaining ground in that RB2 battle, especially after his impressive showing in the last game of last season against the Giants. Remember that game? Mafa had 5 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown, along with 2 catches for 11 yards. He looked confident, like he belonged on the field. That performance, combined with his preseason efforts, has made him a fan favorite. Fans see his potential, his burst, and his ability to break tackles. But now, with this injury, his status for upcoming games is suddenly uncertain. If the injury keeps him out for an extended period, it could open the door for Jadon Blue, the 7th-round pick out of Clemson, to make a move. Blue, who was a star in the Week 18 game last season, has been showing flashes of potential, and he's definitely someone the coaching staff is keeping an eye on. He had 8 carries for 19 yards in this game before Malik Davis and Israel Abanikanda took over in the second half. Blue's speed and agility are undeniable, but he's also had some issues with fumbles, which could be a game changer. One slip-up, and that could swing the coach's opinions entirely. So Mafa's injury is a big deal for both players' prospects. If Mafa is sidelined for the next few weeks, it gives Blue a real shot to separate himself from the pack and solidify that RB2 spot. The competition is fierce, and the preseason is where dreams can either take off or fade away. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the bigger picture here. The Cowboys have been building this team around a solid defense, led by stars like Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs, but their offense is always under scrutiny, especially at the skill positions. Dak Prescott is coming off a season where he showed resilience and leadership, but the running game has been a point of concern at times. The addition of Javonte Williams was supposed to bring some explosiveness, and the emergence of young backs like Mafa and Blue could be the key to unlocking a more balanced attack this season. The coaching staff, led by head coach Mike McCarthy and offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, are certainly eager to see who steps up, especially in a league where injuries are part of the game and depth is crucial. Speaking of depth, let's talk about the offensive line. The Cowboys' backup struggled a bit against Seattle, especially in the early stages of the game. The running lanes weren't as clean as they could be, and that's something that needs to be addressed. The offensive line is the foundation of any successful running game, and the backup's performance will be closely watched in the coming weeks. It's all about building chemistry and making sure the team is ready for the regular season, where every yard counts and every mistake can be costly. Looking ahead, fans are naturally anxious about Mafa's injury status. The Cowboys haven't officially announced the severity yet, but if it's a significant chest injury, it could sideline him for quite some time. That would be a setback, no doubt, especially considering how much he was starting to develop a rapport with the coaching staff and fans alike. The team will likely take a cautious approach, as they always do with injuries early in camp and preseason. The next few days will be critical to see what the official diagnosis is and how long Mafa might be out. Meanwhile, Jadon Blue and other backs will have a chance to step up and impress the coaching staff even more. For the Cowboys, this preseason is about finding consistency, evaluating talent, and getting healthy for the grind of the regular season. They're aiming for a deep playoff run, and every game, every snap counts. The running back position is especially interesting this year because of the competition and the potential for someone to become a real breakout star. Remember, the Cowboys have a rich history of developing running backs. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith. That legacy still lives on. So young guys like Mafa and Blue are looking to make their mark and maybe write their own chapter in that storied history. As fans, we're all eager to see how this unfolds, and of course, we're rooting for Mafa to recover quickly. His story is just beginning, and if he can get back on the field soon, he might still have a chance to prove himself in the upcoming preseason games, especially against the Arizona Cardinals next week. That game will be critical for many players fighting for roster spots, and Mafa's return could be a defining moment in that competition. Now, let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Cowboys aren't just about flashy plays or exciting rookies. They're about building a team that can compete at the highest level. Their defense has been the backbone in recent seasons, but the offense has shown signs of improvement, especially with Prescott at the helm. The running game, in particular, is crucial because it opens up the passing game and keeps defenses honest. The preseason is where these puzzle pieces come together, and every snap is a chance to evaluate who can step up when it matters the most. So, fans, keep your eyes peeled on the updates over the next few days. Mafa's injury status will be the hot topic, and how he responds will influence not just his season, but the entire backfield dynamic. The coaching staff is undoubtedly analyzing every detail, trying to figure out who can be the reliable second option behind Williams. And remember, injuries are part of the game. What matters most is how players respond to adversity, how they bounce back, and how they seize opportunities when they come knocking. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize one thing. This preseason is just the beginning. The real battles start once the regular season begins, and every player on that roster will be fighting tooth and nail for every snap. The Cowboys have a talented roster, a passionate fan base, and a history of resilience. This year, they're looking to add another chapter to their story, one filled with grit, determination, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Mafa's injury might be a setback, but it's also a test, one that the team and the player will have to pass if they want to reach the heights they're aiming for. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on Mafa's injury? Do you think Jadon Blue can step up and claim that RB2 spot? Or are you more concerned about the offensive line's struggles against Seattle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. Remember, every perspective adds to the conversation, and your voice helps shape the narrative around this team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news from Dallas. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our Cowboys through thick and thin. This season promises to be exciting, and with your energy and dedication, there's no doubt we're in for one of the most thrilling rides in recent memory. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.